So today we're going to be meeting Cameron Henry, the Managing Director of Primero. First started working with Primero about 6 years ago, just after they'd started up. And now they've gone from being a privately held company to public. And it's time to meet the MD. Mate, tell me a bit about Primero.
Primero started off as a hobby. It's become a bit more than a hobby now, I guess.
Absolutely has.
8 years ago. I think it was 8 years ago in March actually that we put the company together.
Yep.
And
who's we?
Myself, Dina Segovic,
Yep.
Peter Grigsby,
Yep.
and Ben Davies, with the founding four.
Yep.
8 years ago, I guess we got to the point where we decided to roll the dice and form our own business and stop working for the man and see what we could do with it. So it's been a pretty wild 8-year ride. That's
Sure
for sure.
has. So where are you at now, mate? And what are you into? What's actually driving Primero?
Well, I think 12 months ago probably about 18 months ago we made the decision to go public and move from, I guess, a small privately owned business to a public platform to grow the business, to bring additional funding and additional capital in and take on the bigger boys. So that's where we're at now, and I guess 12 months in, it's been a success to date. And
What has that allowed you to do, having that extra capital?
Numerous things. I mean, the first thing is it gives us a more of a 3 to 5 year strategic outlook in the business, having a stronger balance sheet. I mean, being privately funded day to day, having all our own sort of capital in the business, sweat and equity, definitely gives us a much more sort of medium term view for the business, and allows us to have greater funding capabilities as well. We've just sort of negotiated a decent funding facility with one of the big four, so it just gives us a lot more working capital flexibility and ability to bid on larger projects. Yeah.
So what sort of projects are you working on at the moment?
Numerous. Look, quite a few projects in West Australia with all the iron ore majors. Our biggest project on the books at the moment is a 211 megawatt power station for a big Finnish company, Wärtsilä. So that's in Adelaide at the moment, with the end client being AGL, and it's a big project for us, circa 100 million. We've got about 450 guys on site at the moment.
Wow.
So that's one of the biggest projects we have. And then I guess a lot of minerals processing work, a lot of pretty funky stuff in the gas space and potash space. So some different commodities out there for sure that we're working on, not just the standard meat and three veg sort of Western Australian makeup of gold and base metals. So,
Well, you've developed a bit of a reputation in the lithium space, is that right?
yeah, certainly. Lithium as a new commodity has been a real growing point for us, and it probably demonstrates, I guess, the group's capability to pick up new commodities and make them work. So we're definitely working on a fair bit of lithium as well within Western Australia and overseas. I mean, starting the Montreal office 18 months ago now, that was a big step for us, and it's been a success to date. And so now it's given us a platform to work through the northern and South American sort of peninsulas, and we're picking up a fair bit of work over there, which has been quite successful.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's in such a short period of time.
Yeah, I guess we've got sort of 28 people now in the Montreal office, and starting a business in a completely opposite time zone, 12 hours difference, and speaking French hasn't been the easiest, but I thought that if we could pick it up and start it over there, we can pretty much do anything. So it's been a success to date, and let's hope it still continues.
So tell me a bit about the experience of going public. What was involved, and was it as hard as you thought it might have been?
I guess the first answer is no, it wasn't as hard. We started preparing probably about 7 months before the actual date of listing, and to be honest, we could have got it away in less, but we had to resubmit our prospectus just due to a couple of things that the ASX weren't happy with, which were pretty minor in nature.
Yeah.
But look, the whole listing process went quite smoothly, and I think we were really well prepared as far as financial documentation and structure, which made it quite clean. Our lawyers sort of mentioned to us that they do a lot of these, and they're actually always with, or mainly with sort of, bringing multiple assets from mining companies and things like that. They can get quite convoluted and quite complicated. But I think because we had our reporting structure within the business financially very strong from, you've been with us a long time, Rob, pretty early on, that we sailed through the due diligence process very smoothly. So that was the main concern we had, just going through from a time limit basis. And then I think that the window of opportunity to get the listing away as well, we timed that really well. So we got it away in July. I think almost the window closed almost straight after that. So it was 3 or 4 other businesses I think that were lining up to look at an IPO as well, that's similar businesses that didn't quite get them away because the funding market dried up. So when we did our initial road shows and went to spoke to a number of funds to raise the money for the IPO, it was well oversubscribed. So as far as the whole sort of listing process go, it actually was probably a bit simpler and a bit easier than we thought it'd be. So it was good.